Training Camp Live presented by American Airlines alongside Mickey Spagnola. I'm Kyle Yeomans. This is video 1 of 4 on the day. It's a joint practice with the Los Angeles Chargers. We've got an opportunity to look at some wide receivers versus DBs one-on-one, and that first pass goes to Dennis Houston. This is a drill that's really interesting, Mickey, because you of course get to see the Cowboys go up against one-on-one Cowboys DBs all the time, but this is a completely different unit.
No, absolutely, and we know that the San Diego defense is pretty stout, even with their secondary. So this is good. This is good work. The first couple routes that they had, their corners were jumping the routes, and it's like, okay, time to go in 9 route and keep them honest and think that that's what you're going to do the whole time. So Cooper Rush now. No, he didn't run a good route.
Yeah, it looked like he got underneath it a little bit there, and no chance for Jakari Robertson, to work back to the football. Really good secondary here from Los Angeles as we get a chance to see what Dak can do against Jalen Tolbert over the shoulder, and it was overthrown.
And he grabbed his jersey.
Just a little bit.
Well, that would have been a penalty last Saturday.
Yeah, hey, there's no flags out there at the moment, though, and they do have officials working this drill.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on former Cowboy defensive back Nate Jones. He's here right in front of us, field judge, number 42, and see how well he does.
Putting some pressure on the officials here. Here's Cooper Rush stepping back, has Kavontae Turpin
Pretty
open
nice.
far side. Nice job.
Nice
He was up
route
against Mark Webb Jr. Had a great out route that time, and Cooper Rush hit him on the money.
Okay, you got Noah Brown coming up next. Dak at quarterback.
This is up against J.C. Jackson. Excuse me. There's not Jackson in there.
37.
37, not 27, and Noah Brown won that route. That's up against the North Texas product, Keemon Hall.
So the way they've been practicing the wide receivers, it's been Tolbert, Brown, and Houston. C.D. Lamb's got a little bit of a foot going. They're being very cautious, so he's not working today.
Throw over the middle.
Dennis
Houston
Houston
again. Won that route. Up against Brendan Sebastian.
We might have to change that saying. Houston, we don't have a problem here. How about that?
Like the way you're thinking here, Mickey. Great route from Tolbert. Won that battle easily. Nice job from the rookie. Or, excuse me, that was Dontario Drummond. Winning that route. Brendan Smith doing that one as well on the near side. Tossing up Dean Leonard. A couple Ole Miss guys going back and forth. Drummond with the catch on that one. Leonard was the corner up against Brendan Smith there.
I was wondering where the other 2 quarterbacks were, but they're throwing to tight ends, I guess,
the far side.
Running backs going the other way. Yeah, we can't see them from here.
Yeah, we've just got Dak Prescott working here.
We got to deal with Dak, huh?
Oh, darn. Get to see QB1 go at it. Here's Simi Fehoko on the far side. Had a nice grab earlier in the drill, little stutter step, covered well, but he still physically gets back to the football.
Nice route.
That's one of the things he says he's grown the most on, Mickey. Have you seen the same where he's able to use his body to kind of shield off a defender and make a grab?
Yeah, he's got to understand how big he is, right? And the other thing, that not only that, but he's catching the ball. Oh, high throw.
6'3", 220 pounds, Simi Fehoko.
And he's got speed too.
Now we're coming near side. T.J. Vasher on the play. And there was a little bit of contact, no flag thrown. Good coverage that time from Asante Samuel Jr., the second-year man out of Florida State, second-round pick in the 2021 draft.
Yeah, he didn't get any separation there, and if he was going to catch that ball, he needed to be thrown to the sideline side.
And in talking with some of the Chargers personnel surrounding the field earlier, they were saying Asante Samuel Jr., as talented as he is, really hasn't had a great camp, so that's a good rep for the second-year man. This is just a stacked defense, though. I mean, Derwin James, who's not a part of this drill at the moment. J.C. Jackson, who had 8 interceptions last year, 9 interceptions the year before.
There you go, Houston.
And Dennis Houston again, far sideline. Caught that one from Cooper Rush. Now they flip the quarterbacks, so it's Cooper Rush and Will Grier on this field, and Ben DiNucci and Dak Prescott have now switched to the running backs and the tight ends on the far side.
And that's a good sign to see Will Grier back out here, at least in 7-on-7 so far, and the individual been nursing that groin pull.
Strong throw over the middle, but he missed Turpin. Turpin again had separation. Keep that in mind.
Yes.
Mickey, the way that Will Greer's able to throw the ball here, he's probably going to see some time coming up on Saturday. Back shoulder throw to Roberson off the mark.
Yeah, and they certainly hope so because he missed a great opportunity the first preseason game. He would have played a lot, and they decided he wasn't quite ready. So this is the first time he's been in uniform since he pulled it on maybe Monday, Tuesday, back in Oxnard.
The week prior. Good underneath route that time. Now, since we do have a couple training camp lives throughout the day today, this has been the first one of 4 that we're going to film. I'm going to bring in a special guest here. Babe Laufenberg is standing right next to me on the Cowboys color broadcast. And, Babe, we're looking at quarterbacks and wide receivers. Great throw there to Simi Fehoko. What are you trying to look for here?
Well, first off, I've not been called a special guest in long. I've just been like a guy who dropped by. A question again, I'm sorry?
What are you looking for out of this drill specifically?
Oh, separation. Yeah. That's all it is. And obviously the Chargers just were all over the early routes. They knocked down 2 comebacks, and I thought, oh, got to try to run by some people.
It's a little quieter
and
out
they
here
did,
than it was
by
in
the way,
Oxnard,
too.
by the way.
There's Brandon Smith with a little double move. Nice, nice.
Very nice.
Well, it's quiet because the fans are on the other field.
That's true.
Yeah, I did hear you talking about Simi Fehoko, and I mentioned on the broadcast on Saturday against Denver, I felt like last year he was a big receiver who didn't play big, and this year he's making those contested catches, and he's using that size, and he looks like a bigger receiver who's playing big. Now, obviously you got to keep it up, but obviously he had the nice touchdown in Denver, walled off the defender, and he's got to use that size to his advantage, and I think he's starting to.
That physicality is something that he played to his advantage in college while at Stanford, but of course since moving to the NFL has not necessarily had the same kind of success. But he's showed it throughout training camp, and hopefully the Cowboys can utilize that as a depth piece in that wide receiver room.
Well, this is an important training camp for him because he didn't play much last year.
Exactly.
I think he had like 7 snaps on offense. So this is really important, especially the preseason games. You know, that's why these guys are going to play those first 2 games to basically let these guys get out there and get some snaps against NFL teams.
And, you know, the one thing about this, Kyle, is many times these guys come to camp, you're a young receiver, first, second-year guys, and there's just not a spot. There's not a lot of playing time available. But there is playing time. There's starting time. I mean, you almost throw a blanket around some of these guys, including Jalen Tolbert. And, you know, they're looking for 2 guys to come in and produce. Obviously, having lost what they did in the offseason, to me, Cedric Wilson was a bigger loss than people realize. Yeah. And then you come into camp, and there goes James Washington out to the first week. So there's a spot available if somebody wants to rise up and take it.
There's Will Greer, deep ball to Simi Fehoko again. Dropped it in a bucket, but Fehoko couldn't hold on. Good coverage over the top. Michael Davis was there, but Fehoko, really good throw from Will Greer, just couldn't hold on.
Yeah, no, that was right on the money, but there wasn't enough separation, I think, for him to be able to finish the catch.
So it looks like we may flip the fields here. A little one-on-one action on Training Camp Live presented by American Airlines, and we'll continue forward with more coverage as the day goes along. I believe this is going to be the end of the first video. There's 3 more to come. We're going to scatter these things out, kind of talk through the team periods, and really give the fans at home an opportunity to see practice joint with the LA Chargers. What are your takeaways from this first drill?
Yeah, I think it was a good drill for the Cowboys wide receivers. I think they did a nice job, kind of what you expect. You know, this is one of the most unfair drills in the NFL they do in practice. It's
especially
like
for DBs.
The quarterback, you know, they don't have any timer on him. It's like, okay, now you got to throw it. And with the DBs, you know, the wide receiver can make 2 or 3 cuts, breaks, and you got to cover all day. That's not the NFL, right? And there's no safety over the top.
Nope, no help over the top, and we've got help here with Babe Laufenberg, Mickey Spagnola. I'm Kyle Yeomans. More to come. Training Camp Live, presented by American Airlines.